Do you want to get money in iOS mobile development? Do you understand what it takes to be an iOS mobile developer? A lot of y'all don't. If you're unemployed right now, you need to listen to me. One of the biggest aspects of fundamental Swift and Swift UI that you need to understand in the professional world is dependency injection. A lot of other people, if they create tutorials, they'll give you a little walkthrough. They'll type some code and you follow along. But people who are real visual learners, the best way they learn is not just by doing. Everybody says that. I'm going to give you the code, and I'm going to explain to you the code. I'm going to give you code that works, the entire thing. You can break it down and learn to do this. You can break it down and learn how to be an iOS mobile developer who understands initialization dependency injection. You understand property dependency injection. And you'll understand method dependency injection. And you'll understand it intimately, why you use each one, what they're used for. It's going to take time. It's going to take aptitude. But I'm breaking down the whole thing. I have 2 other videos that already broke down initialization and property. This is method, why you use method, and a good use case for it, in a perfect example. On top of that, we're going to talk about some authentication using when you do API calls. These are the things that iOS mobile development companies or companies that use technology, these are the things that they want you to know off top. You will not pass an engineering test in iOS mobile development without understanding these things. So get ready, because here we go. We're just going to make a simple app. And this app is just we're going to type in some information and we're going to get back a response. I want to type in movie information. So I want to type in an actor's name and we get information about the actor back, right? Type in a movie's name. We get information about the movie back. Type in the name of a TV show and we get that information back. So I believe this demonstrates that. Oh yeah, here we go, right here. So look, movies, right? Let's say Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood. Boom, boom. So we get information about Boys in the Hood back, right? Person, George Clooney. And we get all this information about George Clooney, right? Less than 24 hours into the parole crap. So basically it's about a role he played. Same one, Dr. Ryan Stone, a brilliant medical engineer, blah, 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 blah. Danny Ocean reunites with his old flame. I think that's Ocean's 11, right? So a show, okay? Tax, when you get out here in the real world, you have to adhere to design principles and design patterns that have been tried and tested over time. Companies are going to want to see this, right? And if I go and make a YouTube video where I just walk through it and I create it, it's not going to stick, right? You need a concrete piece of code that you can go back and refer to and look at over and over again. Figure out why he did things this way. Figure out why is this the best way? Why is this more maintainable. Why is this testable? When you get in the real world, you're on the clock. They want to see you go through this code in a relatively short amount of time. Can't take too long. They'll come back and tell you, you're not performing up to where we think you need to be. You know, maybe they'll be nice about it. Maybe they won't be so nice. But the bottom line is there are 100 people in line to have your job. Let's talk about the back end. You know, I talk about making API calls, right? So when you make an API call, you have to be able to understand, read documentation, and learn how to test the API call, you know, outside of their little documentation thing. So the first example of stuff that I'm going to give you is going to be themoviesdb.org. You need to go there. Okay. Once you get there, you need to create an account. Okay. Let me move this out of the way. Right now, I already have an account, right? I can log out, edit profile. When you log out, you can either create an account or log back in. Create your account, the Movies DB. Now that you have your account created, you know, you can understand that here I can go to movies. I can search for popular movies. I can search for movies that are playing, right? So this was playing in theaters right now, right? Civil War, Godzilla versus King Kong. But there is an API that I am assuming all this is based on. All this information comes from that you can use for yourself. Scroll to the bottom and you go to API. You'll get here. You know, you should probably read all of this documentation. Yeah, read it at some point. But right now, here you can also go to your account settings page, get you an API key, right? And you go to this link, API key. This is your API key, and sometimes you will pass this within your, URL. So when you send an API looks like this. I'm gonna show you something. But no, your URL, you'll have a query string and you'll have your API key. This is unique, not a unique user, but a unique app that is using this, that is making this call, and it's authorized, you know, and then you get your response with your information back, right? So we have this, you have your API key, you have details, session, stats, and all this other stuff. So now I go here to API references, right? And for some of these, for this one, you aren't going to specifically need a key, right? You're not going to need a key because you're going to have another type of authentication. It's called a bearer token right here. This is the token right here, EYJHD. Now, probably not that big of a deal, but let's go on over here. We're going to use a bearer token. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay. So let's go to the side, and we're going to scroll down the side. And I'm going to find search. See, I'm going through this. I don't see no searches. Search right here. So we're going to search TV, movie, and person. Let's go to movie. Okay. So now we have this. Now we want to test it here. Okay. We want to test this here. So for the movie, I'm going to say, what's a good movie, right? Menace to Society. Right? Now go to click this button, and we'll say try it. And I return, it turns a response. 200. For future reference, 200 is a good status code. It means your request was sent off and you got back a proper request. Green, 200 status code, right? Now, your responses should usually be between 200 and 299, right? You're getting something back probably that's useful, right? Outside of those ranges, something like a 404, you know, they're bad. Anything outside of 2 and 299 is bad, and you write your code accordingly. Okay, so as you can see, we got something back, and let's see what we have back for movies. Genre, original title, overview, gangster about the making of Menace to Society. So I guess that's all they have in Movies DB. Gangster Vision, making of Menace to Society. They don't actually have the movie in here, I guess. Let's pick another one. Let's say Braveheart. Braveheart with Russell Crowe. Not Russell Crowe, with Lion. No, not Russell Crowe. Braveheart with my man from Lethal Weapon. Forgot. Braveheart. Yes. And you can see all the information with Braveheart. Okay. Overview. Enraged at the slaughter of his murdered family. So this is working here. Now, a lot of times you have APIs that do not that aren't so great. They don't have all this stuff where you can run it and test it, right? So what you're going to do, you're going to need to go ahead and get this. This is Insomnia. Sorry. Insomnia. A long time ago, there was not a long time ago, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, I was using another piece of software called Postman. The Postman sold us out. You can only get a paid version. And Insomnia lets you get a free version where you just want to test out APIs, just basic testing. And that's what this is good for. So screw Postman. I'm down with Insomnia. And you should go download it onto your machine as well. So right here, I did a search for a person, right? So here's how you do. You create a new collection, right? Or whatever. So let me see. Create new organization. No, you don't do that. Let me go here, right? I already have my collection. That's what I was using right here. So let's go back here. And let's see, let's create another collection. Create request collection, and we'll call it my demo. And we'll create, okay, new request, command in, right? And then we'll put the URL in here. So just say for argument's sake, I wanted to do this, right? I wanted to test this in here. I'd get this right here, copy it, go back here, put it in here, paste, right? Now I need to end for authentication, right? I need to or for my header, right? I need to go in here and do this. Oh, for a second. So I'm going to come back here. All right, I posted this here. And now I need to go to authentication. Now I'm going to pick bearer token. Okay. Then I'm going to take my token and put it here. Your bearer token is right here. Boom. Or here. Here or here. This is your bearer token. So I'm going to go right here. Right. Command C. Then I'm gonna go back here. Get off me. Enabled. Paste. This is my token right here. Okay. All right, let's see what else I have to get. I have a bear token. Header. I should say accept, copy, paste. Okay, and then the value should be application JSON, copy, paste. So I have my bearer token. I have my parameters. So now let's see. Movie search. What did I do over here? What was the movie that I searched for? Braveheart. So that's what we're gonna do. Braveheart. Search. And of course, when I look at this, I need to find out what the query string's name was. Which, if I look here, the query string was called query. So this is our query string. Anything after the question mark. So what I need to go back here is query. Remember the movie's Braveheart. So let's go back here. We're going to add our query string. Query. Okay, and our movie Braveheart. Right now I'm going to send it. And we have a 200. Perfect. Okay. And now we get get all this information. Enraged at the slaughter of Moron. And blah 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 blah. We see all this images, Braveheart title, all this stuff, all this information we can investigate. Mel Gibson's Braveheart, a filmmaker's passion. Mel Gibson, that's his name. So we have all this. We know that we have everything required to send off a request and get back valid information. Okay, so let's talk about the code. Now, I want you to look at this. We have this information. This is our response, right? So I sit back and I basically make a call. We want to do a query for the movie Braveheart. Okay. And this is what we get back. Braveheart. Okay. Enraged at the slaughter of Moron, his new bride, blah, 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 blah. Right. Another Braveheart, English, Chief Standing Rocks tribe, treaty protecting the fishing grounds. That's another Braveheart. Now, this is what the data looks like. But in order for us to get this data properly and use it in our app, we have to make a model that describes this data. Movie search object. That's why I named this model. And I'm going to go through it and kind of describe the hierarchy, the information hierarchy. As you can see at the very top of this, we have our top object, page, results. Let me go back here. All right, page, results. And results is an array of other objects. Let me go ahead and do that. Let's close up this array. Right. Okay. So that's what it is. Total pages and total results, right? There you go. Page, results, total pages, total results, which are ints. Yeah. And the result object, which is result objects is page and results, right? No, that's the coding key. I'm sorry. This is the result object. Adult, backdrop, genre IDs, original language, and all this other stuff. Now remember, the keys look like this.
right? We have coding keys. Coding keys will take this and um, uh, make this, and I put this in our object model. So when we write our code, we reference this, not this. Okay. Um, Again, if this is confusing, um, set the app up, download it from my GitHub repo, set it up, and play with it. Now, one thing you're going to have to change in this app, and let me get to that. You are going to have to get your own bearer token from your account. And again, your bearer token is located where? I'm going to go back to, yeah, your bearer token is right here, access token. And if you want to see it in the request, this is it right here, curl, right? Authorization, bearer, this is that right there, the same as this, okay? Again, Braveheart, this is the Braveheart data coming back right there. Same thing that's in Insomnia. Except, of course, in Insomnia, you can kind of open some of this up, right? Adult, backdrop, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's genre IDs. Um, so you have this, and now another thing that you're going to have to get. No, I think actually the bearer token is the only thing that you'll have to get on your own out of your account. Yeah. So you do that. You're gonna add your accept application, JSON, and your query string. Okay. And as far as your query string goes, your query string will be this. This is the complete URL, but you need to get your query string from here, right? Take that, put that in up here in your Insomnia. Your bearer token, your accept JSON header. Okay. Okay. And then your query. And it will be called query. The value is Braveheart. Then you send. You should receive an okay. So let's look at this. So now we're going to go back to our code. So we have our object. Our object is used to parse all of this data. And I will show you, go to our networking service. So again, we have a networking service, and it is just movie networking service. No, actually, we have 3 networking services, right? Movie networking service. This is the movie networking service right here. And it conforms to networking service protocol. Networking service protocol is just this: retrieve, movie search, you pass to the URL of type string, and it returns a movie search object with all the populated information. Right? So go back to movie networking service, get your URL, make sure it's good. Then you create your request method, URL request method, and you set the HTTP method. Your header will be one of your headers, or added value will be what? It will be a bearer token. This right here, bearer, and boom, boom, boom. Okay. And for HTTP field authorization. Okay. Then you'll add application JSON and accept. And that's all you need. Pass that to a URL session.share.data request, and then you should get data back. But that's not what you have to make sure your response is good. Between 200 and 299. We already discussed that. And then you create a decoder. and you implement it with a try catch method. Do catch method, not try. A do catch method. There's your movie search object. And we want to see if we can return this decoded data, otherwise throw an error. Okay. All right. So now you take this networking service and you're going to use it in your movie view model. Okay. And now here you're going to have movies, right? That's your movie search object. You're going to have an output array. The output array is the list of strings that are going to be the name and description of the movie. An array of those, right? And for your movie, of course, for your view model, you're going to create this initializer. And you're going to pass it what's a networking service object that conforms to networking service protocol, which is any one of these. Why? Because they all conform to movie service protocol, right? And of course, you can pass a mock networking service to this as well. Okay. Now you have the function load movies, right? You create an instance of this and you pull load movies from it, right? Instance of this view model, pull load movies from it. So you get your string, make sure you're going to add your percent encoding. So this is your query. You add your percent encoding. Now it's encoded string. Okay, and you're going to append it onto your query, right? Okay. Then you're going to use your try await movie search movie network networking service. Okay, that share that retrieve data. Now you're passing your entire URL string to this movie networking service object. This movie networking service, what singleton, right? Because our networking service is a singleton. See, static let share movie networking service, right? So everything uses this very same instance of movie networking service. No new instance, just that one. Now you have your movie search object, and then you're gonna pass it to the movies. Parent variable, the variable up here, global variable up here. That is published. Okay. You use a published wrapper around it. Okay, now we're gonna take this movies, and what we want to do is we want to get our array of strings. And right here, we go through, we get our array of strings, and we get our title and description. And then we take, we'll put this in output array, okay? And then, now that we have this in the output array, and by the way, we use a higher order function, map function, to take this and put this in a higher order array. And now, we have it. We're not returning it from this function. We're really making it right here a property of this view model. So when we go to the movies view, which is the view model, it's very simple, right? We do state object. All this wrapper means that this value, whenever this value change, it's reflected in the view. It's reflected in this value, okay? And this, I'm gonna make it simple. This is where we do our method dependency injection right here. So in our movies view, we're going to take our movie networking service and drop it right in here, right? Our movies view model accepts a parameter of networking services, you can see, right? This is what I thought. This is that initializer. Okay. Go back to movies view. Oh, stop. So now that this is initialized, right, with a wrapped value, we can use this. So I take so view model, load movies, and you pass to it what? The search tags. That's it. And then anywhere the value, once all the work is done in load movies, this value is reflected in output array immediately. One, two things. If output array is empty, then movie not found. But the minute it changes, it reflects the items in the array. Right? So you notice when go here, I have this right here, I do movies, right? Right? And I say the last dragon. So the last dragon returns all of these immediately. But when you first start, there's nothing. Okay? Close that out. Movie not found. Because why? The default value of this, back in the movie's view model, is empty. Okay? We'll go back here and we can change that, right? Karate Kid. Right? All right. And then you can repeat this logic in all of these, right? Now, obviously the logic in, I'm going to tell you something, logic in all of these networking service are similar. And the logic in the view models are similar, right? However, what I wanted to illustrate to you was this. Doesn't matter. If I went here, let me go back to my movie view. And this offers flexibility, right? It gives me the ability, to test my movie view model. Why? I can throw in a mock networking service and then run it in this view with fake data that doesn't really go out over the network. Instead, it's hard-coded data, but it returns. It returns information for testing. And if you're kind of confused about testing, 2 videos ago, I did something on testing, on unit testing, with another dependency injection. I believe it was initializer dependency injection. So you can check that out if you want to. And then you can also, your networking service is separate from here, and you can test your movie's view model, right? And you can test them all completely independent of each other, and the view model independent. You can make a mock view model, right? You can make a mock view model and run it with testable data. See, hey, is this working, right? And maybe in another video, answer in the comments, if you want to see a tutorial on testing with a mock view model and a mock networking service, the method dependency injection way of doing dependency injection would be the best for testing purposes. So yeah, that's all there is for that. And on to the next.